Welcome back to Anything You Want, dear viewers, the channel where we dive deep into the stories behind the headlines, uncover the emotional undercurrents of celebrity lives, and walk you through the moments that shake the Turkish entertainment world to its core. Before we begin today's remarkable and deeply emotional report, don't forget to subscribe, hit that join button to support us even further, and leave a like so YouTube keeps bringing you our stories. Now, take a breath. Today's news is one of the most heartbreaking spectacles Istanbul has witnessed in a long time. It was barely dawn when a ripple of disbelief spread through the halls of one of Istanbul's most prominent hospitals. The early morning silence, usually broken only by nurses' footsteps and the distant hum of machines, was pierced by a voice trembling with despair. Standing in the dimly lit entrance, exhausted from travel and visibly overwhelmed, was Mert Ramazan Demir. His presence alone might not have caused such a commotion under normal circumstances, but his emotional collapse transformed the space into a stage of raw human vulnerability. And at the center of it all was Afra Saraçoğlu, admitted once again after a relapse tied to exhaustion and emotional strain. Medical staff later confirmed that Afra's family, wary of excessive excitement and shaken by previous media leaks, had issued strict instructions. No visitors, absolutely none, unless authorized directly by them. Even familiar faces were barred, and this uncompromising rule became the spark that ignited the heartbreaking scene now circulating across the internet. When Mert arrived breathless, carrying the fatigue of an international flight, still wearing the remnants of stage makeup from an overseas event, he first approached the reception desk with polite urgency. Witnesses say he asked softly, almost pleadingly, if he could be taken to her room. The receptionist, visibly uncomfortable, explained the situation with clinical firmness. Mert blinked in disbelief, asking whether a doctor could verify his right to at least check on her condition. His tone was still restrained, still holding on to hope. Minutes passed. Then more. Each inquiry he made was met with the same response: "We're sorry, but the family has restricted access." At Anything You Want, we always ask our viewers, what would you do in that moment? If the person you cared for most was inside a room you were forbidden to enter, would you fight, would you wait, or would you break the way he did? As the tension escalated, those present described an almost cinematic transformation. His shoulders sagged. His voice cracked, shifting from confusion to wounded disbelief. He repeatedly asked who had decided this, and why he, of all people, was being left outside like a stranger. When the answer refused to change, something inside him seemed to shatter. He pressed both hands to his temples as though trying to steady himself, inhaling in short, tense bursts. Security guards, trained for protocol but clearly unequipped for emotional storms, attempted to calm him. One guard reportedly told him that bending the rules wasn't possible. Not when the family insisted on complete isolation. After a final refusal, Mert sank onto one of the cold metal benches lining the hallway. A journalist's camera captured that now viral moment. The actor hunched forward, elbows resting on his knees, his face buried in his trembling hands, his shoulders rising and falling with each unsteady breath. He stayed like that for more than 20 minutes. Silent. Still. Broken. Dear viewers, if you're moved by this heartbreaking reality, don't forget to support Anything You Want. Hit that join button. Your support helps us bring you deeper stories that mainstream media often glosses over. According to sources close to the situation, Afra's family had made their decision not out of malice, but out of caution. Their previous attempt at protecting her had spiraled uncontrollably when Mert's visit leaked to the press and ignited a social media frenzy. They feared the emotional shock might worsen her fragile condition. And medically, the request made sense. The actress needed strict rest. But logic offers little comfort to a man whose heart had been stretched thin for months. Friends later said that Mert felt locked out of her life, as though every step he took toward her was met with a new barrier. And yet, he had rushed across countries for her. Without scheduling, without sleep, without thinking of what awaited him on the other side of the door. When one of his closest friends finally arrived at the hospital, the scene they found was alarming. Mert was white as paper, trembling, struggling to regulate his breathing. Hospital staff eventually stepped in to calm him and reportedly administered assistance for what they described as an acute anxiety episode. He kept saying he just wanted to see if she was okay, one witness explained. He wasn't chasing publicity. He didn't care about cameras. He just needed to see her for 1 minute, that's all he asked for. Millions of fans reacted online, turning the moment into a heated debate. Some called his emotional collapse a testament to the sincerity of his feelings. Others argued that boundaries must be respected, especially in medical crises. Yet nearly everyone agreed. The image of a man crumbling at the threshold of someone he deeply loves was one of the most painful things Turkish entertainment had seen in years. Afra herself, unaware during the incident, was devastated when news eventually reached her. A source close to the actress revealed that she wept silently, whispering that she never wanted to hurt him, and that she didn't expect he would return so quickly, especially after such a demanding international schedule. By the time Mert left the hospital that night, escorted gently by friends, his expression carried the emptiness of someone who had run out of tears. Reporters described the moment he paused at the entrance, lifting his gaze toward the floor where Afra's room was located. He stood motionless, as though waiting for a sign, a glimpse, anything that might bridge the distance between them. But nothing came. Over the following days, he vanished from public life entirely. No appearances. No statements. No replies to calls. He retreated to his home, far from crowds, far from speculation, lost somewhere between longing and resignation. Then came the message he posted online, a message that left millions dissecting every word. Sometimes, the one you love the most is the one who teaches you the weight of distance. A poetic wound disguised as wisdom. Afra, choosing silence publicly, sent a private message through her representative. "I'm fine. Please don't worry." Those 5 words reportedly cut him deeper than anything else. Before we close today's story, dear viewers, we want to ask you, what do you think lies ahead for Mert and Afra? Is this the final chapter, or just another turning point? And which celebrity stories would you like us to explore next on Anything You Want? Don't forget to subscribe, hit join, and leave a comment to help our community grow. Your engagement keeps these emotional deep dives coming. And so, this night. The night Mert Ramazan Demir sat under the cold glow of hospital lights, trembling with helplessness, remains etched in the collective memory of a nation. A reminder that love, no matter how fierce, can be humbled by circumstance. A quiet portrait of a man who traveled across the world, only to find himself stopped by a single closed door. Thank you for watching Anything You Want. We'll see you in the next story.